present on care contributions, especially RDAS and decision support system, and also you can complete the other one also, multi-use at triple M.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chair. In order to save time, I'll try to finish my presentation in less than 20 minutes. I really hope so. I'll be delivering two presentations together so that, again, we can try to maximize the time. The year 2000 until 2025 has been a very, very challenging time for RIMES, but also very rewarding. Now, we are implementing the Climate Adaptation and Resilience for South Asia project that is funded by World Bank. And in this project, we were able to usher a number of key enhancements, key improvements that are, if I can say it, trailblazing in the region and has so much opportunity and potential to be replicated, to be deepened, to be replicated in other parts of the world. Now, if we look at the 5 pillars of the climate or early warning information value chain, we are looking at different but interconnected components of enhancing data availability, accessibility, modeling and forecasting, translating data into actionable information, societal engagement and feedback, research and development. Now, RIMES always anchors its work on these 5 pillars because we all understand that the multi-hazard early warning system in the countries can fail where one of these components fail. So if you look at the work that RIMES is doing, regardless of the investments that we have from development partners, we are connecting these pillars such that we realize great value even the investments are marginal or with focus on one of the components only. So we make it a point to incorporate all these components so that much benefit is resulting from these engagements. Now, the impact-based forecasting and climate services looks into, again, these 5 pillars. We're talking about primarily hydrometeorological data, but in the work that we have in CARE, what is revealed is that the sectoral data sets are even more challenging to put together. So for example, we are talking about historical data sets in the context of climate, extreme weather events, temperature, etc. How these are well recorded in many national med services. However, when we go to the analysis of the behaviors, patterns, impacts into the different sectors, these data are still to be gathered from various sources. And in South Asia, in so many number of sectors, these data are not put together. So some of these are still in hard copy, and the value of data remains to be realized in many number of countries. So what I'm trying to say here is that when we're looking at impacts-based forecasting and when we're looking at really amalgamating the national med services and the sectoral institutions, we have to look at the data sets not only from the national med services but also from the sectoral partners or sectoral institutions. These are the systems that we have developed under CARE. We have the regional data and analytics services. If I may say so, again, I will stand corrected if anyone in this forum corrects me. But I believe as of now, RDAS is the only one in the world that integrates the data pillar, integrating data from a number of open sources, but also integrating analysis engines so that global data sets are available for the countries in South Asia up to district level at any country at all. Now you have the analytics panel, which looks at the relationship of this data into the sectors and see if there are correlations in such a way that if we have prediction models, there is a basis for such prediction. And then we have the prediction systems in RDAS that looks at the future behavior or the anticipated behavior. If we are looking at forecasts, weather or climate, that has significant impacts into the conditions in the region. Now, when we're looking at the decision support systems, again, RDAS is regional and we have national decision support systems that are looking at agriculture, disaster management, livestock, planning and development, the very first that we have done, water, and we have transport. Now, outside, there are screens where the various systems are being displayed, and you can explore all throughout the plenary and all throughout the conference on the functionalities of those systems. These systems are living systems, meaning that we continue to take on feedback, suggestions, enhancements of technology, advances in science on how to further enhance and adapt these systems into the evolving requirements of users. Our pride in the development of these systems is the co-development process that we have undertaken with national institutions and even subnational institutions. Co-development means that we are involving, integrating national institutions into the development process, not only getting data and developing the system on its own, but making sure that we incrementally build the capacity of the national institutions going forward into the implementation, handover, sustainability of the systems. Now, these are the details of the different pillars in RDAS. I will not deal so much on this one, but there are screens outside which can be easily explored. We have assigned colleagues so that they can easily show you the functionalities of the systems. Our system developers and a number of our climate impacts experts were not able to join us here physically, but if needed, we can request demonstrations so that if anyone is keen, more details can be discussed going through the process. So as of now, there are more than 228 data sets in RDAS. There are 4 analytics tools, and again, these analytics tools make analysis of climate data and their implications on various nationalities almost instantaneously. Where previously, if you look at drivers like El Nino Southern Oscillation, which impacts most part of the world, there has been no study conducted by far looking at all the districts in one country or even all the provinces in one country because of the vast amount of time, human resources, analytical resources that are required for this analysis. However, we have now embedded this tool in RDAS such that you can make any analysis on the correlation of drivers on El Nino Southern Oscillation, both warm phase and cold phase, almost instantaneously, and then go to the prediction of what is likely to be anticipated when we are anticipating these drivers. So again, there are screens available outside. If you are interested, our team will be most happy to support you, to provide support in maneuvering or navigating the tools, but definitely the tools are user-friendly. So passing through, these are the analytics tools in RDAS as of now. The La Nina and local climate, again, these are analysis tools on the correlation. Land use and land cover change. What are the changes in land use and land cover, and how can we plan going forward into sustainable use. We are looking at the correlations of potentially temperature and changes in land use and land cover that we are still in analysis, and we may be able to integrate the outputs of the same into the tool within the next few months or so. El Nino and local climate, and cropping calendar and local climate, which looks at water requirements of different crops at different stages, and the observed rainfall per 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years in different locations in South Asia. And these tools are easily replicable to other parts of the world, and to other disaggregations, subdivisions in any country. So just to give you an overview, I have the screenshots from the tools in RDAS, but I will not provide so much detail. Now, if we look at the DSSS, which provides also interconnectivity to RDAS, we are looking at the agro-advisory system in CARE. We have developed this in Pakistan, in Nepal, and these are now customized up to district level. And we are in CARE, we are very proud to say that this is so, the system is developed in such a way that it can be easily upscaled to various crops, to various provinces, with the use of by the use of the institutions themselves, with very less assistance needed from IT experts, software development engineers. So these are now operational in various countries, and again, our pride here is that these systems are easily upscaled and easily replicable. Now we have developed in RDAS also the temperature sensitivity system, which is called TEMPS. There is a national livestock alerting system in Bangladesh which looks at temperature. Particularly in Bangladesh, there has been so much benefit by stakeholders on the use of heat wave alerts that was delivered to livestock farmers in 2023 and 2024. We have documented a number of good practices and the benefits, and we are still in the process of systematically documenting this. Now, the temperature sensitivity tool is available as a generic tool in RDAS, which means that this can be customized for any country at all easily, provided that we have local data, both climate and sectoral data in the context of thresholds, growth of the livestock, particular livestock, their sensitivities, etc. In climate, we can use proxy data. Again, we have engines integrated into RDAS such that global historical climate are available up to regional, up to district level in any district in the region. However, the livestock data needs to be seriously customized for the information to be relevant to different countries and to different districts. But again, this is not limited to South Asia. The tool is primarily now available for South Asia, but can easily be replicated anywhere in the world. I will not deal so much with SATAR. This is a disaster management tool that we have developed for Nepal. It highlights evacuation routes whenever there are severe weather events, depending on the severe weather events. This highlights on lightning, flood, and other hazards identified as priorities by the National Disaster Risk Management Authority in Nepal. And the tool provides not only the context of providing alerts, but also looking at the vulnerability of different areas in the country vis-a-vis the hazards that are anticipated. But again, a caveat here, we are looking at the availability of data, so we have put forward the analysis in pilot areas, but again, the analysis is so easy to upscale when data is available. And Navigate, again, this is the first transport tool that we have developed. This is available for the Department of Roads in Nepal. It highlights the areas that are affected by natural hazards and which areas are closed due to these natural hazards, and provides alerts to operational officials of the Department of Roads as well as the public on what are actions to be taken in the context of the impact of these closures and how these roads can be easily repaired, maintained, and other management concerns. Now it looks at also data into the frequency of the closure of roads. Now we found that in Nepal, absolutely, in the past how many years, the closure of roads are associated with the monsoon. Now if we look at the data, we have almost 0 road closures outside of the monsoon in Nepal in the past 4 years, which means that if we look at now development planning, we can invest a good amount of resources before the monsoon every time, such that during the monsoon, we have less closures and less damages to those roads. And this is again Clean Plan. This is the climate and development planning tool for Pakistan. This now looks at future projections in the context of what crops would be suitable for different areas of Pakistan, looking at water availability, climate, crop conditions, etc. Now we're looking at the triple dividends of the early warning and climate information application. In the morning, the chair has highlighted that, and we are looking at not only now on the disaster risk management, but how do we use all this information in such a way that we build resilience? By building resilience, we are not only looking at reducing the risks, but stimulating economies and making sure that future developments are not at risk to hazards. And I believe we will be able to discuss a number of points going forward in the plenary today, as well as in the working group discussion. I have, I think, 2 more slides. The RIMES Master Plan 2026 to 2030. How do we leverage the triple M, multi-hazard early warning system, multi-scale, multi-purpose for triple dividends? Now, if we look at the investment in care in RIMES, we are looking at including investments on South Asia Hydromet Forum, which is part of CARE from 2023. We are looking at absolutely all the pillars of the early warning system. Now, CARE was able to strengthen the facilities in RIMES to provide services to countries in such a way that we have more computing capacity, in such a way that we have more decision support systems, in such a way that a regional system is now available for further enrichment and for replication in other parts of the globe. Now, in this context, we are looking at how countries can benefit from this regional system in such a way that even for those low-capacity countries, they can avail of such services precisely because even with marginal cost, they can receive the services that are available for other countries as well. Now, all of these tools, services, from the generation of information up to the application of information is available in RIMES. We take advantage of the resources that are available in the region, meaning RIMES region in Africa and Asia Pacific, and how to leverage all of this to contribute to the system, but also how the system can contribute to the countries in such a way that over time we build the system incrementally that is always adaptive to the requirements of the countries. This is my last slide. I suppose my last slide is only the basic RIMES institutions, science institutions and communities ethos. But basically, when we're looking at all these capacities and when we're looking at all the pillars of the early warning system, perhaps I will pose this question to the plenary for onward discussion, and I will close here. How do we take advantage of such resources, and how do we enrich such resources such that we make available services for the greater benefit of everyone with less investments, while making sure that such resources are optimized for everyone's benefit. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.